Alrighty, so we are figuring out proportionality today and telling whether these are proportions. Remember that proportions are equivalent ratios, and we determine whether they're equivalent or proportional by cross multiplying. So we've got 1 times 12 is equal to 12, and 3 times 4 is equal to 12. These two are proportions. 1 times 28 is 28. 7 times 4 is 28. Since these two things match, they form a proportion. 2 times 80 is 160. And 5 times 30 is 150. Since these two things don't match, they are not equivalent, so they are not proportions. 18 times 20 is 360. And 24 times 15 is also 360. Since these two are the same, they are equivalent, which means that they form a proportion. 35 times 2 is 70. 16 times 5, I think, is 80. Let me double check that. It's 80. Since these don't match, they are not equivalent. They don't form a proportion. Next one is 49 times 5. And that is 245. And 7 times 35 is 245. Those two things are the same, so they are proportional. 15 times 56 is 840. 15 times 56 is 840. And 21 times 40 is also 840. Since those two match, they are equivalent, so they are proportions. Ooh. 33 times 42 is 1,386. And 63 times 26. 63 times 26 is 1,638. Those two do not match, so they are not equivalent, so they don't form a proportion. And the last one is 54 times 15. And that equals 810. And 10 times 81 is also 810. Since those two match, they do form proportions. And make sure that when you do your work for these, that you put the problem above to show whether they match or not, and then circle the yes or the no's, but you need to make sure that you've got all of your work. If you just do yes or no, I'm not going to give you credit on those.